Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am sad to say that it is my last day here in Alicante. I know it's been a while since I've come on here to talk to you all face to face, but I thought that I'd do it again and tell you all how I'm really feeling about it coming to the end of my time here. I am not gonna lie to you all, I am very sad to be leaving this place that I've called home for the past 4 months. It has been an insane journey these past few months, and I just can't believe how fast it went by. It seems like yesterday I was just choosing which room in the apartment I wanted to live in, and now I'm packing it all up. As you can see, it's empty now and I leave in a few hours. Today has been really hard because I am leaving this city that I've fallen in love with, and I don't know when I'm going to come back next. I really love it here. It is such an ideal place for me to live. I have grown so accustomed to this place and now I have to leave, which is very upsetting. But even more upsetting, this week I had to say goodbye to all of the friends that I made here, and that was really hard because I've spent the past 4 months with the same people every single day, and coming to the end, having to say bye to those people I've built such strong relationships with that I may or may not see again or may not see for a very long time is very hard. Despite all these sad things happening right now, there's so much good to look forward into the future. I'm excited to go home, see my friends and family, finish out my year at uni, and then see what life has to offer me next. Luckily, I am not going back to the States right away. I am meeting my mom in Portugal tonight, which I'm so excited for. It'll be a little taste of home before I actually go back home, which I think will kind of be a slow adjustment because I know the reverse culture shock when I get back to the States is going to be unreal. I will probably be depressed for a few weeks, which I am mentally prepared for, but I am very excited for this next chapter in life. While I'm in Portugal, I met a lady here who was kind enough to let me keep my giant suitcase at her place until I return from Portugal and fly back out of Alicante to the States next week. So that was very nice of her, and it's very convenient having that connection, so I'm not lugging a huge suitcase across multiple countries with me. I finished up exams in the beginning of the week on Monday. For my final requirements, I had 2 written exams, an oral exam, and 2 projects/presentations. And then I said bye to all of my friends. Most of them I said bye to on Wednesday or Thursday. And then I extended my trip to be able to go to Portugal and also stay a few days more in Alicante, which I'm very glad that I did because it gave me time to say bye to everyone properly, say bye to the city properly, and have time to pack without having to stress about anything, and really reminisce in my time here before I leave. This trip has been absolutely life-changing. I cannot thank USAC enough for everything that they did for me on this journey, especially my professors and our residential directors. They were amazing with everything. My landlords were great. I had no problem whatsoever, and from the bottom of my heart, I am so grateful for all of it. I knew this was gonna happen too, me not wanting to leave, it going by so fast, And I'm just so glad that I took in this experience to the full extent, took every opportunity, said yes to all these opportunities, and really put myself out there, because I am going to go back home and just be the best version of myself that I can be, and take all this experience, everything that I've learned, and just run with it throughout life, because I have really changed for the better on this trip. And also, I want to thank all of you who have kept up with my videos during this time, who've supported me and watched me through this amazing experience. Thank you all from the bottom of my heart, sincerely. I'm grateful for all of it. Well, with all of that said, let's hop into our new video where we start off in Madrid. During the last weekend of my spring break, I made the last minute decision to take a train up to Madrid, where I stayed with my friend from high school who has been living there for the past 3 years. That first night I got there, we went to a place called Tiki Taco, where we got some €1 tacos and €5 margaritas. The following day, we went and got a yummy and cheap lunch at a place called Seara Cafe, and then we went on a little tour of the city. We started off by checking out the Temple de the Bull, which was donated to Madrid by Egypt. We then walked over to the Royal Palace of Madrid and the Almudena Cathedral. We didn't stay long because it was so hot outside, but we did get to catch some amazing views. We ended our tour by walking through the Plaza de España, which is just a park and actually nothing like the Plaza in Sevilla. That night we went clubbing, coincidentally met some people from Cincinnati, and sang One Direction with everyone on the bus ride home. You don't know, you don't know you're beautiful. You know what I can see, you understand why I want you so casually. Right now I'm looking at you and I can't believe you don't know, you don't know you're beautiful. My last full day here, we walked down Gran Via, which is full of places to shop and probably one of the most touristy areas in Madrid. Here, we saw the exact center point of Spain, caught a glimpse of a tennis tournament, and saw some of the most beautiful architecture I had ever seen. The white building you see here is known as the Palacio de Cibeles, or formerly known as the Telecommunications Palace. We finished our day taking a walk through Retiro Park, which is a very popular place to go if you couldn't tell by these videos, and then we set up under a tree with some snacks and some books and did some people watching. We ended up seeing this group of girls being serenaded by a popular singer named Mateo Bach, who we had never heard of. All in all, the trip was absolutely amazing, and I really hope to go back here one day. Back in Alicante, I did everything I could to really soak up the last of my time here. I took a sip and paint class with a place called Arte y Vino, where we painted the Explanada. I also went on another field trip with USAC. This time, we went to the Isla de Tabarca for Earth Day. To get here, we drove 30 minutes down the coast from Alicante to Santa Pola, and then took a 30-minute boat ride the rest of the way. Since it was Earth Day, we dedicated our morning to picking up trash around the island while also doing some exploring. Luckily, when we went, we had most of the island to ourselves, but during tourist season, they can get up to 15,000 people a day. You already know I had to get another tattoo while I was here, and I also saw an ABBA tribute concert at El Teatro Principal, which is the same place we saw the flamenco show. One night, I went up to the top of this hotel called Gran Sul with some friends where we enjoyed some drinks, dinner, and an amazing view of the city. Another day, I took a tram about an hour up the coast to a city called Villajoyosa. I went on a Thursday to check out their Thursday flea market, but what they're really known for is the abundance of colors they have in their buildings. There is a lot to do here. For example, their popular Valor Chocolate Museum, but I decided to have a more low-key day. I chilled at the beach, got a few drinks, saw some local artwork, and took in the beautiful scenery. One night, one of my roommates put on an amazing charcuterie night. It was beautiful, the presentation was everything, and she did such a good job. Almost everyone from our program came, and we even ended up taking a vote on USAC superlatives. Here are some other winners and the two that I got voted most likely for. Our final USAC field trip was to Javea, Cabo de San Antonio, and Denia. We met up at 9 a.m. and then drove about an hour and a half up the coast to Javea, where we took a hike up to the top of Cabo de San Antonio. Luis, our residential director, told us that this hike would be easy. He told us to bring jackets because it might be cold. No, I found this hike to be very difícil, and I was hot as shit. Luckily, it was all worth it for the immaculate views we saw and the delicious lunch we had at the top. From here, we could also see the Isla de Ibiza, which you'll see in this video. Luckily, the bus picked us up at the top of Cabo de San Antonio and took us a little further up the coast to Denia for some beach time. One morning, I was forced out of bed by this loud-ass music coming from below my apartment in Plaza Luceros. Come to find out, the football team, Hercules, had won their championships, so you know we had to celebrate. This was a video taken by one of my roommates of the crowd below our apartment, and it was bumping. I took one of my final trips to the university, and I really tried to soak it in one last time. For everyone who was wondering, all my classes were in the one building, but the campus was honestly pretty big. I loved all of my classes, although it would get really hot in the classroom sometimes. I took one final trek up to the Castillo de Santa Barbara to enjoy the views of the city before they closed it down to start filming a movie called El Cautivo by the director Alejandro Almenabar. The girls and I had to go to the bars Casablanca and La Plata one last time, and we had the privilege of watching Jenna juggle some rocks. I made my final grocery trip at Mercadona and got European McDonald's for the first time, which I do not recommend. I enjoyed one of the last sunsets from our balcony and took one final trip to the university to give a departing gift to our residential directors, Luis and Veronica, who I already miss so dearly.
Chicas, ¿cómo estáis? ¡Ay, pero bueno! ¡Qué bueno! ¡Ay, muchas gracias! Esto tenemos que ponerlo también aquí.
A ver.
Claro que sí, claro que sí.
Oye, qué chulo, ¿no?
¡Qué bueno! Muy bien. Ay,
Qué
muy
colorido.
bonito, muy bonito.
The girls and I went to Taco Taco Margarita on Calle San Francisco for the final time, and then the next morning we woke up bright and early for the first and last time watching the sunrise in Alicante. Afterwards, we got breakfast at the Tienda de Cafe right below my apartment, and as one last hurrah, we got dinner at my favorite sushi place, Kodama. Last but certainly not least, I said my final goodbyes to my room and the rest of my apartment. I realized in my previous videos I never showed you what it looked like, so here is a little tour starting with my room, room number 1. Then you head further down the hall to room number 2 and a bathroom, and then further room numbers 3 and 4 and a second bathroom. Then you see our kitchen, which also contains our big collection of wine corks, and then our living room, which is nice and spacious for all the people we had over, and finally, my favorite part, the balcony. Gracias por todo, España, y te extraño mucho. No, I got the hiccups. Time. Oh, here. Wow. Yeah. Madrid. Starting with Madrid.